Unreliable, overpriced, underpowered, and soon to be discontinued. Some of the factors that go into this list of vehicles you should avoid in 2022. This is a two-part video because I have more than 35 vehicles on this list. So this is part one of vehicles you should avoid in 2022. Let's begin. The Ford Explorer might be a household name, but the 2022 iteration has several red flags according to Consumer Reports. During the last 4 years, the Explorer has shown problems in transmission, drive system, and power equipment. The interior electronics and outside paint have also had issues. Unfortunately, the 2022 Explorer won't be much different, with Consumer Reports giving it a predicted reliability of 1 out of 5. In fact, Consumer Reports has branded it the second least reliable car of 2022 with an overall reliability score of 8 out of 100. In addition to that, insufficient legroom in the third row, poor fuel economy, and an unimpressive 8-inch standard infotainment system make the Explorer one of the worst cars to buy in 2022. The 22 Infiniti QX80 has an attractive exterior, an upscale interior, a powerful engine, and a smooth ride. Still, this 3-row luxury SUV is one of the cars you must avoid. Why? Well, you can get the exact same vehicle minus the chrome grille and the Infiniti badge at a discount of $22,000. I'm talking about the Nissan Armada, the mechanically identical, albeit less swanky sibling. Yes, you will lose a handful of pretentious features, but you'll get the same vehicle, better fuel economy, and $22,000 in savings. No, this isn't a photo of the 2011 Chrysler 300. This is how the 2022 version looks. Looks pretty outdated, don't you think? Wait until you see the interior. It's even worse, thanks to plenty of cheap materials and a lack of standard tech features. Besides its awful looks, decades-old headlights, and cheap interior, the performance and handling of the 2022 Chrysler 300 are said to be not on par with both the muscle cars and full-size sedans offered by its rivals. It's just a huge waste of money and probably the worst car of 2022. Ford has decided to discontinue the Ecosport, so the 2022 model will be the last one. Just having a look at this absurd car is enough to guess why it's been a disastrous failure. While Ford brands the Ecosport as a subcompact SUV, it practically lacks everything one might want from a crossover. A poor fuel economy, a dull ride, a brazen lack of safety features, and an outdated standard infotainment system makes the Ecosport one of the worst SUVs to buy in 2022. The largest vehicle from Kia, the 2022 Telluride, is the gold standard of the 3-row midsize crossover segment. At an extremely affordable price, the Telluride has a formidable exterior, a surprisingly luxurious interior, a thrilling performance, and unrivaled value. So why is buying a Telluride a bad choice when it's so damn good? Well, that's exactly the problem. It is so good that dealers are selling it at a market-adjusted price of between $15,000 and $18,000 over the original MSRP due to an extremely limited availability caused by its skyrocketing popularity. So just hold on a bit and don't throw your money on such an absurd markup. The 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4 has a combined mileage of 37 miles per gallon with a base price far below the average, but the list of pros stops right there. The subcompact sedan has a grossly underpowered 3-cylinder engine that barely manages 78 horsepower. Not only is the engine noisy, but the car also has awful soundproofing. The interior is full of all kinds of cheap materials, and the build quality is below average. Worst of all, it has got a terrible predicted reliability rating. According to Consumer Reports, the Mercedes-Benz GLE is the least reliable vehicle of 2022. The GLE got a score of 5 out of 100 for overall reliability and a 1 out of 5 for predicted reliability. Problems with engine, electrical, and climate systems, in-car electronics, and body integrity caused the decline of GLE's reliability over the years, but that's not all. There are several other factors that make it one of the worst cars to buy in 2022. For starters, it has a complicated infotainment system, finicky steering controls, and a not-so-smooth shifting. In short, you're better off without a GLE in 22. The 2022 Mirai has got sick looks, stellar performance, a luxurious interior, and a zero carbon print. Still, it's one of the worst cars to buy in 22. Why? Well, it's a hydrogen-powered vehicle and way too ahead of its time. As of now, the U.S. has less than 100 hydrogen fuel stations, almost all of which are clustered around the major cities of California. It means you can use this car in just one state, and within that is even a restricted area. The Chevy Silverado has repeatedly been branded among the worst trucks by Consumer Reports. This time, it ranked it among the 10 worst cars of 2022 in terms of reliability, with a reliability score of 11 out of 100. The Silverado 1500 was the only pickup to make it to the list. The owner reported surveys revealed several problems with the Silverado engine, transmission, drive system, in-car electronics, and power equipment. An outdated interior with the usage of cheap materials and harsh ride quality are some other factors that make the Silverado 1500 one of the worst pickup trucks of 2022. The 2022 GMC Acadia has stunning looks, but don't fall for them. The reason it's on this list of worst cars of 2022 is how little it offers as compared to its rival midsize SUVs. The interior simply doesn't live up to its hefty price tag that can reach up to $47,000, almost $48,000. While the front two rows are adequately spacious, the third row is grossly cramped. The fuel efficiency, cargo space, and driving dynamics are also said to be inferior compared to its rivals. The 2022 Nissan Sentra would have been a great hauler, that is, if it were the only car in the compact sedan segment, but unluckily for the Sentra, Mazda and Honda offer better cars at a similar price point. Even though the Sentra comes with a lot of standard tech features and is comfortable as well, it lacks performance. It struggles to give you a decent highway ride and is also very dull in handling. A small trunk and finicky infotainment further worsen things for the Sentra, making it one of the cars to avoid in 2022. The 2022 Lexus GX has a great off-roading capability, but it comes with more than just one compromise. For starters, you have to deal with a clumsy, outdated design, and when you move inside this luxury midsize SUV, you hardly find any amenities that could justify an estimated price tag of $55,000. Another reason why the GX is one of the worst SUVs of 2022 is it's a gas hog with an abysmal combined mileage of 16 miles per gallon. Rivals offer more comfort, more storage, and better fuel economy. The 22 Infiniti Q50 hasn't been an impressive offering from Nissan's luxury division. While it aims to take down rivals like Mercedes C-Class and BMW 3 Series, the truth is it leaves a lot to be desired and is in fact one of the worst cars to buy in 2022. For starters, both the exterior and interior of this luxury sedan are pretty outdated. Speaking of, the dual-screen infotainment further complicate things. While its overall reliability is average at best, the fuel economy is below average. Worst of all, it doesn't even deliver on its much-hyped sporty credentials. While the Chevrolet brands the 2022 Trax as a, quote, small SUV that's larger than life, unquote, it is, in fact, a really small SUV that's unimpressive, impractical, underpowered, and not larger than anything. The Trax has an outdated exterior and an equally dated interior with limited driver assistance features and a measly 7-inch touchscreen. Simply put, it provides a poor value for money despite bearing an affordable price tag. The presence of up-to-date rivals with better everything makes the Trax one of the cars you should avoid in 2022. With a reliability score of 17 out of 100, Consumer Reports ranks the Volvo XC90 among the 10 least reliable cars to buy in 2022. Users have faced issues with the brakes, drive system, body hardware, and climate system of the luxury SUV over the last few years. Some other areas where the XC90 lacks include off-road capabilities, an inconvenient touchscreen, and a confusing climate control system in the rear. While this Volvo SUV received poor user ratings, Consumer Reports recommends the XC40 and the XC60 instead. The 2022 Subaru Impreza has everything you don't want in your car: an underpowered engine with sluggish acceleration, a lousy fuel economy, and a cheap interior. Even the exterior is outdated. Although the Impreza has an affordable price point that starts around $20,000, the list of reasons why you shouldn't consider buying it in 2022 is quite long. Rivals like the Volkswagen Jetta and Hyundai Elantra offer much better value in a comparable price tag. The Tesla Model Y has had more than one recall. Owners have faced several issues with the 7-seater all-electric SUV, most notably with its body integrity, in-car electronics, and climate control. Considering that the Model Y was introduced just a couple of years ago, it's unlikely that the SUV will get any major updates soon. Maybe that's why Consumer Reports has given it a predicted reliability of 1 out of 5 and an overall score of 18 out of 100, making it one of the least reliable cars to buy in 2022. In addition to that, the Model Y also lacks Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. And that wraps up part 1 of the vehicles you should avoid in 2022 based on the data, user feedback, and Consumer Reports. I'll put a link to the source material in the description below this video. Stay tuned for part 2 coming very soon. One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.